Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the City of Troy, Ohio, and the Troy High School Athletic Department, we'd like to welcome you to the Hobart Arena with a special welcome to our guests at Beavers from BEAVERCREEK High School. While at the game this evening, we ask that you please observe the following game management procedures. Please do not smoke in the arena. Hobart Arena is a non-smoking area. Once you have entered Hobart Arena, there will be no classes issued to leave and return. Please honor and abide by the no entry policy. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please be aware, objects including cups or sticks can and will fly off of the arena ice, so please remain alert at all times. The officials assigned to this game have been selected and assigned according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Southwest Ohio High School Hockey League. Their experience and integrity qualify them for their important part in this friendly, competitive, interscholastic game. Your officials tonight, Mr. Bill Peck and Mr. Gary Dickstein. And now let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting BEAVERCREEK Beavers. At right defense, number 3, James Spinney. At left defense, number 4, Dane Deal. At right wing, number 7, Jake Saba. At left wing, number 9, Riley Gibson. Into the center, number 6, J.J. Leonard. In the goal, Austin Braun. Head coach for the Beavers is Gary Goodman.
welcome you back live inside the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy as the Troy Trojans play host to league rival Beavercreek Beavers in the final home game of the regular season. Hello everybody and welcome again inside Hobart Arena. I am JT Zabo. And it looks a little pink out there. Don't adjust your screens as tonight is the Pink in the Rink event as the proceeds to tonight's game go to the Pink Ribbon Girls, a local charity helping those battling life's toughest diseases. And there is a hockey connection to the Pink Ribbon Girls we'll get to later as we are just underway. The Trojans are wearing their specialty Pink in the Rink uniforms tonight with the gray trim and the white helmets. The Beavers traveling on the road tonight wearing their all-black uniforms with the orange and the gray. As this one inside the Trojan zone, starting netminder Noah Carver out for the Trojans. As Troy will get that one across the Beavercreek line back inside the zone. Big hit down low, forced Wenning off the puck as it comes back out to the near side. Played a little stymie up the wall as it rushes inside Trojan territory. Now that centering pass blocked by Campbell. Scoop back up by Smith as he'll pick it up and send it rink wide. Intercepted again by the Beavers as they'll work it back down low on the half-board's left wing side before it squirts out to center. And they'll regroup out through neutral ice and continue to chase as we approach just over 90 seconds gone here in this opening period. Icing signaled by the back official but ruled off by referee Bill Peck as that one's going to go down now for a stoppage with 13:42 to go. And the Trojans will have a face-off inside the Beavercreek zone for the first draw of the hockey game in the neutral zone. And now in the Beavercreek end as they'll play it out from behind the trapezoid, wrapping it up. Now to the point for Condi. Sends it back down low to the point. Forcing it wide again. As they'll play it again. Intercepting. And this one clears out at the neutral zone before it's forced back in. Unless somebody bumps your camera position, in which case you got to do what you can as icing is going to be the call. And that'll bring the face-off all the way back inside the Beavercreek zone again and give head coach Rick Zabo and Greg Gutterman chances to change their respective lines. And the Trojans coming into this hockey game looking for a 2-game weekend dub as they won on the road last night, beating Clay High School up in Toledo. At a 6-5 decision for the Trojans on the road, who got back into the Miami County area late last night, got a little bit of sleep, and back at it for a Sunday afternoon tilt with their league rival dating back to 1997. These two hockey teams have been playing together, at least at the varsity level, as Gabby Paff has her pocket pick. That one back up at the point, but here comes Luke Harris the other way for the Trojans. Harris' centering pass trying to get a piece of Paff. Couldn't get much on it as Gabby goes back to play it up the half boards. Picked up by Lombardo, but it's stripped away at the last second. And now here come the Beavers out through neutral ice. Across the Trojan line, too wide. Dropping back at the point, far wing side. They'll hold on at the line before that shot in on Carver, and he will elect to hold on. Stopping the clock now with 12:19 to go here in this first period. Still scoreless. If you're just joining us here on Troy, Ohio TV, the battle between two of the top teams in Southwest Ohio. And of course it is Pink in the Rink tonight. A little extra decor out on the ice for the home finale for the Trojans as they'll work that one. Top of the circle before they'll finally slap that ahead out to neutral ice. Bouncing it off the wall. That one's going to be picked up by Gavin Burris, who dumps it all the way down. No icing called. This is played out from behind the net. That's a hair too rich for Condi. And so that retreats all the way back behind Noah Carver's net as Burris one times it ahead. Tried to get something going, but the Trojans couldn't clear out of their own zone. And so back to play to Sexton. Out from behind the net, out of the trapezoid. He'll hold on to it. 1-1 the shots on goal early in this hockey game. quarterbacking this breakout almost as if it was a power play at this point, as they'll work it on the half boards before Sexton swoops in. A little brute force knocks it free in a one-touch. Now to Gavin Burris and across the line as he's rode off into the sunset, held in by Condi. He'll work it up on the half boards before it hits off the short glass and back out it comes. As they'll play it out deep under pressure, around to the far wing. Sexton back to play. Tangling it up against the kick plate, finally getting it loose. A little help from Beidel as he's able to play it around. One touch. Ethan Beidel had it but couldn't quite clear. And so the Trojans, at the tail end of their shift, out of gas, they will just dump this one in for a change. Creek will work it out of their own zone as they're pressured by Beidel. Turns it over. Francis not nearly got a piece of it before this one's sent ahead by the Beavers out to neutral ice. Here they come. Across the line, still trying to control it. They'll force it ahead. Still at the red stripe in front of Rick Zabo's bench before it's scooped up again by Ian Francis Knott. And they'll clear that one deep inside Beaver Creek territory. Beavers back out and a shot right on, and Carver will hold on. And that's enough to stop the clock with 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go. As you see Noah Carver right there make the save. And the faceoff's going to remain inside the Trojan zone to be taken on the glove side of Carver. As it's one back, Campbell plays it up the boards but held on at the point. Still trying to control on this outlet pass. Here's Lombardo with it across the line, too wide. Sets up. Harrison front, a shot as that one was saved right on. Goaltender thought he might have had a little interference on it, but he's not going to get a call as it transits back inside Trojan territory. Great effort there by Luke Harris to pick up the trailing puck as they'll work it out from behind. Try to backdoor feed, and that is nothing but glove of Noah Carver to stop it now with under 10 minutes to go here in this opening period. If you're just joining us here on Troy, Ohio TV, glad to have you along for the ride as the Trojans and the Beavers battling for the first time and only time this season here at Hobart. Their one other matchup didn't go so well for Troy earlier in November, and the Trojans trying to avenge that early loss as they'll play that one off the Dashers. Back ahead and icing signaled, icing the call, and that'll bring the faceoff back inside the Trojans' end. Well, coming up in the intermission, we'll go downstairs and we'll have a chat with a couple Trojans that we haven't talked to in a while, namely Captain Cameron Lombardo and Senior Gavin Burris. We'll get their thoughts on their final home game if you stick with us during the intermission here on Troy, Ohio TV. And right off the draw, this one picked up by the Trojans but slapped away out through center ice. Reaching for it is Burris as that's knocked away again back into the far corner. Laying it up the wing, trying to get a hold of it was Gavin Burris. He did, turns, but loses it in his skates, and now here come the Beavers back the other way. 185 feet the other way, rushing, backhand feed, save made by Carver, rebound off the side of the cage, picked back up by Sexton, and he'll wing this one all the way down, and a good effort there. But an even better hit knocks Wenning off the puck, and play continues out through neutral ice. Almost looked like a Joe Burrow throw, how accurate it was into the neutral zone. But he was under coverage, and so play continues back inside the Trojans' end. 8 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in the opener. Still scoreless if you're just joining us from Hobart Arena, as they'll play it on the board. Still at the corner, Troy struggling to get it out of their zone, and finally do as Brady Smith picks it up with a head of steam. He'll blow his tire at the blue line, however, as the Beavers now work it the other way. End-to-end tempo, at least to start this hockey game, as moving it across is Smith. One touch from Beidel. Here's Smith, a shot. Loose puck. Beidel shoots! Save made, and the rebound back to the far side. He'll get knocked off the puck, but a great effort to follow it in the slot as they'll work it down low into the corner. Takes the hit, and that'll work it all the way back to Burkhart out at center. Delayed offside signaled as the Trojans will tag up at the tail end of their shift. Not going to change, though, as in comes Smith. Back on the far side, throws on the brakes, back for Francis Knott, tries a shot, he couldn't get his lumber on it in time, and now here come the Trojans trying to stymie the forecheck back the other way, deep inside the Trojans' end, now a 2-on-2 in the making across the line. Forcing it back, here come the Beavers across the red stripe, and they're just going to chip this one just wide of the net. It looked like Carver might have got a piece of it, but they'll work it back around now for Francis Smith, and ahead for the captain, Cam Lombardo, now a 2-on-1 the other way. Here's Lombardo a drive as that one was sailed wide off the goaltender paddle, and now BEAVERCREEK will work this one ahead under pressure through the neutral zone all the way down, and now both clubs will finalize their line change they tried to do earlier as the Trojans will break this one out of their own zone. Headman pass. Lombardo lost his stick in the process, and as Gabby Paff was breaking down the wing, she was able to control to get the stoppage now with 7:01 to go here in this opening period. End-to-end helter-skelter action to start this hockey game on a beautiful Sunday evening along the banks of the Great Miami River, as the Trojans and the Beavers have a momentary delay on the ice as some equipment being adjusted. And right off the face-off, this one controlled back out in front. Paff the shot, rebound, she had the opportunity as Gabby Paff on the short side got two good shots in. 6 minutes and 52 seconds to go in this scoreless game here in the first period. And right from the draw, Condi couldn't control, BEAVERCREEK can, out inside Trojan territory is knocked off the puck by Lombardo and up the wall. Still trying to control. Down low on the centering pass. Cleared again at the line. So force that one back around. Good effort by Paff at the tail end of her shift to get that one deep inside the BEAVERCREEK zone as the one-touch pass. Working it ahead is BEAVERCREEK. Out inside the Trojan zone, scooped up by Berghardt. Now for Wenning, but he couldn't control, and neither can the Beavers at their own line, and so that one will squeak all the way out to neutral ice. Rink-wide pass, now inside Trojan territory, is the centering pass, shoots and scores! Condi and Wenning couldn't control the trailer. And so it's an early 1-0 lead for the bad guys with 5 minutes and 55 seconds to go. As Wenning got caught. And there was no way on earth that Noah Carver was going to be able to get back and make that save in time. And so we'll go downstairs for the official word from Roger Mumpower momentarily, as the Beavers will work it out of their own zone. Now inside Trojan territory. And around behind the net for Campbell. With the pink laces tonight, as part of the annual Pink in the Rink benefiting the Pink Ribbon Girls, as the Trojans giving proceeds to that organization tonight in form of partial ticket receipts, as well as a number of raffle baskets currently being bid on the main concourse. And for those listening in the arena, still plenty of time to go down and put your bids on that as well, as they won't draw that winner until the end of the hockey game. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first period. It's a 1-0 BEAVERCREEK lead if you're just joining us. The crowd still filing in, the largest crowd of the season. Here, they saved the best for last. As they'll work it back to the far side. Here's Miles Schumann. Joey Donahue getting called for the goal. Esner getting an assist on that one as well. As across the line, they'll force that one down low, back inside the zone. Elsner with the puck down low into the near corner, tangling up with Lombardo. That one squirts back to the point. Centering feed, right wing side, under pressure, a shot as that one was blocked away by Carver. He got a brief glimpse of it. Rebound back to the half-board's far side. Harris overskates the puck but gets it out to center anyway before the Beavers are forced to pump that one back inside. Approaching 4 minutes to go here in this opening period. As they'll work that one across the line. Here's Sexton. Centering pass, nobody was there. As Wenning was coming off the bench still. They'll force that one still at the line and back top of the circle. Under pressure is Burris. Hit off the puck is Berghardt as icing signaled and icing the call against the Beavers to bring the faceoff all the way back inside the Beaver Creek zone. 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in this first period. And I'd like to take this moment, we'll probably see it a little bit later, but to point out Mr. Lombardo, the father of Captain Cameron Lombardo here tonight in Section 30, wearing a full-on pink bodysuit. I'm sure we'll get to see that on the ice a little bit later for Chuck-a-Puck, but hey, go big or go home, especially when it comes to such a great cause like the Pink Ribbon Girls. As icing's going to be waved off. Racing for it down low into the corner was Burris. Centering pass, nobody was there in the slot, and this one's going to be scooped up by the Beavers. On the half-boards, battling for it is Barnes. Here's Will Barnes still trying to chip it with a good effort against the Dashers as Burris comes back to help out. Campbell gets burnt at the line, and now here come the Beavers. A shot, he scores! Hard to blame your defenseman on that one as Carver got caught way back in the crease. As you see a picture of him right there, he is not happy with letting that one go. And that's one of those instances you wish you could have that shot back, is over the course of the season you'll get that 150 times and stop 149 of them. As the second shot bounces up off the high glass. Owen Huff getting the goal unassisted. As they'll work it back on the half boards. On this breakout attempt, racing for it, icing signaled, and icing the call on that long Hail Mary pass to Ethan Beidel. And the faceoff will come back inside the Trojans' end. A 2-0 lead for the visitors. And right off the draw, this one intercepted through the slot, and that's going to be backhanded all the way down for yet another icing call to stop the clock with 2:19. And so with the faceoff inside the zone, that one's going to be hit into the paraphernalia of Noah Carver, and he's going to hold on, stopping the clock with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go. And we'll do this faceoff again, same location. And again, won cleanly by Brady Smith. Back around the boards to the far side. Under pressure out to center. All by himself was Smith. Had it turned over, and now here comes Elsner back the other way as Gabby Paff intercepts that one and sends that one around. Fired back in by the Beavers as they'll play it out from behind the net. Here's Soupy. Campbell works it up the ice. Now ahead for Campbell and for Smith. There's a shot right on, reaching for it. And he'll cover up again to stop the clock with 1:39 to go. And the faceoff's going to stay inside the Beavers zone. Shots on goal through this point. 7-6 in favor of the Trojans, but it is 2-0 up on the board where it counts. 32 feet hanging above the ice here at Hobart Arena for one final time this season. The Trojans on the road for the rest of the regular season and the state districts coming up in February. As play continues. Now for Sexton. Working it up the wing. Harris tries to help out as well. Little help from Sexton to squeak it inside the Beaver zone. They'll wrap it back around on the far side boards. There's a long shot into the bench. And that one nearly getting a piece of Beaver Creek head coach Greg Gutterman. And nonetheless, we'll stop the clock with 54.4 seconds to go. And it'll be Gavin Burrison to take the faceoff for Troy. One cleanly back to the point is Schumann. Nearly overskated the puck, but he was able to get it back down low. Now for Gavin Burris, out of the near wing corner. Turns, has his pocket picked, and now here come the Beavers back the other way. Stopped at the line, scooped back up momentarily. Back to help out with Sexton. He'll curl back off. Drop back out from behind the net. Send it on this breakout attempt again for Burris. He's got Francis Knott on his wing. Back down low. Goaltender will make the save. Rebound out from behind the net. Thought the net was off for a second, but play continues. As referee Gary Dickstein said, no way. Back out. And ahead, 1-on-1. Inside the Trojan zone, sends his Hail Mary as time will expire. 15 minutes of hockey in the books. The Beavers leading the Trojans 2-0 on the big board. We will step aside when we come back. Second period action. You're watching Troy Trojans hockey on Troy, Ohio TV. And welcome back inside Hobart Arena. JT Zabari joining us. We are just underway for the second period. The Trojans trailing the Beavers 2-0 after one period. In the battle of the two top teams in the Southwest. As there's a breakaway, shoots and scores. And he had Carver's number the whole way. Pulled out with that deke to the far side, and that was enough to make this a 3-0 hockey game. And just like that, the crowd going very quiet here in the building. A large crowd on hand tonight, hoping the Trojans can pull one out against arch rival. As they'll work this one down low. on that centering pass. Still trying to control. And they're going to give that one to Elsner as well. Centering pass is a delayed penalty coming. Delayed penalty is going to go against BEAVERCREEK. And it's going to be an interference call, putting the Trojans on the power play for the first time tonight. That's number 17 in the box for interference. And this power play is brought to you by Skyline of Troy. It's Skyline time. And the faceoff will remain inside the BEAVERCREEK zone. The Trojans on the power play for the first time tonight. And right away, the Beavers quick to ice it 185 feet the other way. Breaking out on the man advantage. Intercepted as Sexton lost the puck. Tried to go out the middle, and now shorthanded. Here come the Beavers behind the net, in front. Shoot, save, Carver. Rebound, back into the near side. Held on at the point. A costly mistake by the Trojans on this power play. As it looks like that's going to be an offsides call against the Trojans to stop the clock with 13:32 to go. A minute 23 remaining on this power play for the Trojans, presented by Skyline of Troy. And right off the faceoff, this one controlled by the Beavers back inside the Trojan zone as Carver goes back to play it. On this break out to center. One-touch pass, a bit too rich for Lombardo. And the Trojans forced back inside their zone. 1 minute to go in a power play that looked more like a penalty kill at this junction, as they'll work it out ahead. Back inside the BEAVERCREEK zone. They'll hit it off the short glass out from behind the net. The Beavers have essentially taken the crowd out of this hockey game, as they'll work it back on the half boards and out to center ice. Fired back in by Burghardt. Noticeable drain in tempo for the Trojans here since that third goal scored by the Beavers. And they'll work it back ahead. Rink-wide pass. One touch. Back ahead for Burghardt, out to center it goes. Stolen away out through the middle, and this one back to the netminder it goes. And on this breakout attempt with 10 seconds to go in a power play, the Trojans have yet to register a shot. There's the first one, short side, rebound, Lombardo, loose puck on the side of the cage. Couldn't get much on it as BEAVERCREEK returns to full strength. That one should have been an automatic whistle, but play will continue as it's back down low for Smith. Feeds it ahead for Sexton, didn't have much on it. Got away with a contact to the head penalty that goes uncalled as the Beavers now step out to center ice in front of the bench. Battling it free, finally picked up by Gavin Burris with a head of steam before his pocket is picked, and here come the Beavers back the other way. Deke again, he shoots and scores. That's the same move from the third goal. And Noah Carver visibly upset after that one. And just like that, a 4-0 deficit the Trojans face. And so the faceoff will remain at center ice. And back inside BEAVERCREEK territory. Working it up the boards now for Campbell. There's a shot and the rebound knocked away. Excellent goaltending to clear that one away as Smith hits it up high off the end of the glass, and Francis Smith can't hold on. There's a shot. Turned aside by Carver. Rebound. Back into the near wing corner. Played up the wall for Smith. We'll get that one out to center ice as he'll have to throw on the brakes and force that one again. Play continues as Soupy sends it ahead up the wing. No icing signaled. And that's going to be gobbled up behind the Beavers net on this breakout attempt. Still even strength as they'll work it across the Trojans line, and a big hit there by Burkhart knocks it loose. 10 minutes and 24 seconds and counting. As they'll play it off the boards. Now ahead for Gavin Burris. With a head of steam, Burris gets hooked. Delayed penalty coming. Finally ahead. See if Nova Carver leaves the net, and indeed he does. As finally the Beavers will touch up, and it's going to be a hooking penalty against Beaver Creek to stop the clock with 10:04 to go. And it's 22 in the box. A 2-minute minor for hooking will put the Trojans on the second power play of the night. This power play brought to you by Clopay, America's favorite garage door, as you look at head coach Rick Szabo down at the bench trying to figure out what power play unit to put out. As this centering pass knocked away, finally chipped up out to center. Donahue, the minor, is offsides is the call. And offsides intentional against the Trojans will stop the clock with 9:49. And that should keep the faceoff in front of the Trojans bench. And the draw won cleanly by the Beavers. 2-on-2 across the line. Under traffic, down low, picked up and held on to by Carver. And Noah will keep an eye on that one. And speaking of Noah Carver, he was recently named earlier today the Power 107.1 FM Blazin' Athlete of the Week. So congratulations to Noah Carver for that. And now we have a penalty coming right off the faceoff for elbowing, and it's going to go against the Beavers. And on his way to the penalty box, wanted to make sure everybody knew what time it was. As in for an elbow right off the faceoff to give the Trojans a 2-man advantage at a time when they really could use one. And so sometimes when you ask the hockey gods for a favor, they will smile upon thee. We'll see just how well the power play unit does on this 2-man advantage, as the horn will blow as the time clock had not reset with the new penalty yet. So we'll do this one over again as they drop the puck a little bit too soon. And so the time is up on the board now. 1:32 to go on the penalty, originally for hooking, and now 2 minutes up on the big boards for the elbowing as a shot save made, rebound off the side of the cage. Trojans with the 2-man advantage brought to you by Clopay. Here's Sexton, a shot, loose puck through the slot. Racing for it was Sexton, a little miscommunication, as now here's Brady Smith. Sends it back to Ovechkin's office. Now a one-touch pass, side of the cage. Scooped up by Burris. One-timer, shoots and save! And so far the save of the game right there to keep it no score with 9:05 to go here in the second period. A very close call there, saved by some excellent goaltending for the Beavers. And right off the draw, this one held on. Again by Sexton. They'll work it ahead. Burkhart shot low on the ice. Rebound. Big kick out. Around to the half boards right wing side for Brady Smith. He's got time. Sends it rink wide. One-timer fanned on by Sexton. They'll work it back into the point. That was a lot of setup for no punchline as they'll work it out from behind the net. Back to the point. Burghardt sends it right back in. Crowd yelling, shoot it. 8:33 to go here in the second period. 25 seconds to go in the Trojans' two-man advantage as that shot up and out of play into the protective mesh. And that'll stop the clock now with 8 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Trojans trying to get offense, trying to get shots on net. They're moving the puck almost in excess of where they need to be, and that's costing them these opportunities. As the draw saved at the line by Sexton, sends it rink wide to Burghardt. One time, back for Smith, picked the corner, scores! Brady Smith! And that's how you do it! A power play goal by Brady Smith. And that cuts this lead back down to 3. A power play goal. And those fans that were yelling shoot certainly knew what they were on to, as that goal by Brady Smith had eyeballs to make it back behind the net. And now it's a 4-1 hockey game as they'll work it back inside the Beaver Creek zone. Still on the power play for another 27 seconds, as only one of those two penalties expired with the power play. Let's go downstairs. As you hear Roger Mumpower with the call, a big poke check, knocked that one wide. Burghardt getting an assist on Smith's goal. They'll work it back down low. Here's Smith still out on the ice on this power play as it expires. Back to 5-on-5 even strength hockey as they'll work it out from behind the net. Here's Gavin Burris putting in the work out of the trapezoid, now around to the far side corner. He'll work it up to the half boards under heavy pressure, but he's able to strip the puck away at the top of the circle and hand it off on this high cycle. Now through the slot, finally scooped up by the Beavers out to center, and here they come. Off the corner, tried to go post to post, but Carver was there stacking the pads, and the Trojans desperately trying to clear and could not, as that one back at the point and held in. Dangerous play out through the middle. Delayed penalty coming again as it's going to be touched up by Troy. And Beaver Creek will get their first power play of the night. With 6 minutes and 52 seconds to go, it's Colin Burghardt headed to the box for cross-checking. As you see, referee Gary Dickstein giving the call down at the box. And so the Trojans penalty kill unit out on the first time tonight. This penalty kill brought to you by National Salt Distributors, the official salt distributor of Troy Trojans hockey. And so the Beaver Creek power play unit out on the ice. See what kind of magic they can do, up by 3. Trojans coming to life there after that Brady Smith goal. As players tangle up down low into the corner, and Troy is able to clear out to center. As they'll get it just in front of the Trojan star embedded in the ice surface. And they'll tangle up on the blue line, and now here comes a 3-on-2 the other way for the Beavers across the Trojans line. They'll drop it back. Fans the shot, rebound down low into the near corner. Playing it up the wall, still with it. There's Sexton. 6 minutes and 10 seconds now to go here in this middle period.
Number 11, Colin Burghardt.
As play back at the point, stood up back into the corner as Lombardo plays it around the Dashers, now on the near side. Sends it rink wide, but a bit too rich for him as it bounces back against the Dashers, and Sexton's able to throw him into the plastic as they'll tangle down low into the corner. 53 seconds to go on that penalty to Burghardt, and this penalty kill brought to you by National Salt Distributors out of Bellefontaine, Ohio. Down low, still chipping it away. Trying to kick it free, finally do. Back up at the point, and we'll cycle it high. Held on at the top of the circle, sends it rink wide to the far side, walks in, shoots, save, rebound, he has it. and he will not let go, as Noah Carver shows everybody why he is the Blazing Athlete of the Week for this week. Announced by Power 107.1 here in Troy. He'll be interviewed next week on their Blazing Sports Show with Dave, and I'm sure they'll have a few guests to join them as well. Want to tune in to Sports Director Dave Fisher with Power 107.1, who gave us great coverage this season. As they'll play that one down low. There's a pad save made by Carver, sprawling out. Offsides, big time offsides, but play continues. 10 seconds remaining on that penalty to Burkhart. Loose puck, gobbled up by the Trojans and forced out to center. Just at the tail end of this penalty, as back to play is Condi in front of the benches, and now we return to even strength as there's Colin Burkhart. Inside the zone, chasing down low and from behind, blows a tire. Here's Brady Smith trying to wrap around her, but he gets rocked behind the net. A nice hit behind the net. And sometimes you want to take chances. That's the price you pay. As he'll get off a change. A hard-hitting hockey game, very entertaining. As they'll play that one back at the point, centering feed knocked away by Condi. They'll force it back down low, and the Trojans will just ice it 185 feet the other way, free of charge. 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Let's not forget the punishment that Brady Smith was willing to take behind his own net. Making that play. Absolutely rocked, but it was a completely clean hit. And so the faceoff will come back inside the Trojan zone on the glove side of Noah Carver, wearing that pink sweater as part of Pink in the Rink 2013, benefiting the Pink Ribbon Girls. And you can learn more about the Pink Ribbon Girls and all of the amazing things they help cancer families and survivors at pinkribbongirls.org. And right from the draw, the Beavers will control this one out from a far side before it's picked up by Troy, and out to center they come. Here's Lombardo streaking back into the corner. He gets his pocket picked, and the Trojans will force that one right back inside the Beaver zone, where they're forced to tag up at the line. Play continues out to center ice, scooped up by Harris, had his pocket picked, and now here come the Beavers at the tail end of their shift, wobbling that one just inside the Trojans' end. Even strength hockey here in the second period, 3 minutes and 34 seconds and counting, as the Trojans will skate that one inside the Beaver zone. Lombardo plays that one from behind the net. Harris tries to help out as well as it gets around to the near point, battling on the boards, and they both blow a tire in the process, as it's going to be scooped up by the Beavers at the Trojans line. Dangling top of the circle, trying to stick handle his way through. Loose puck blocked down low, and a good effort there by Sexton, but the rebound scored. Nobody picked up the loose puck. And that one was a real dangerous situation, where the initial shot was blocked, almost like they wanted a pat on the back for making the initial play, but then let the attacker take the loose puck right in front of Noah Carver, who again got caught back in the crease and buried it again to a 4-goal deficit. 5-1 now with under 3 minutes to go. And again, a hush descends upon the historic Hobart Arena as the Trojans faithful trying to will a win out of the final home game of the season. As that one not quite held on at the point by Campbell, and this one will force the Beavers out of their own zone. Now inside Trojan territory, glove down by Noah Carver to stop the clock now with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go. And so the faceoff will remain inside the Trojan zone. Don't forget, coming up in the second intermission, we'll go downstairs for a handful of conversations. a couple freshmen as well as our two departing seniors to get their thoughts on what this hockey game and what this season has meant for them. But first, here's a 3-on-1 the other way. Poked away at the last second as they'll force it back down low. Out from around the boards, now to the point. Held on by Berghart. He'll work it down lower to the corner. Centering feed off the side of the cage. Impossible angle. And they'll play this one again back around to the near side. Good effort there by Ian Francis, not now to go the other way. Slapped away by Harris. They'll force that one out from behind the net. Works it out to the point. Control. Walking in. Shooting. Loose puck. Bounces just wide. Rebound. Top of the point near side. Fanned on the initial attempt. There's a second shot low on the ice. Knocked away off the rebound. And now here come the Beavers back the other way, 3 wide. Across the Trojans line. Cutting in. Shoots and scores. He beat him. Top shelf. Not a whole lot of defense there to help out as Berghart completely blanked on the play on the back check. And that makes it a 6-1 hockey game here in the second period, 1:10 to go. And so with the face-off at center, Trojans facing their largest deficit yet of the hockey game. Esner picking up the goal again for the Beavers as there's the rebound, fanned on the shot. He had it on his tape, could not pull the trigger, and the rebound clears back to the corner. Back on the half boards. Battling for it along the dashers. Racing for it, down low. Up against the kick plate. Finally kicked free by Burris. Knocked away by Wenning. Under pressure, takes the hit, drops it back, picks it up himself, but steps on the puck and blows a tire from his knees. Back to Gavin Burris, who's able to set up Eli Wenning out from behind the net. Crazy series there as they'll work it back off. Loose puck, finally controlled. And they're going to hold on to stop the clock now with 12.4 seconds to go here in the second period. Some discussion going on after that one. And the faceoff is going to remain inside the Beaver Creek zone. And right from the draw, back into the corner. Hit with a high stick down low as this one's going to be iced all the way down. And Carver had it the whole way and ended up playing a little game of chicken there. He's having a conversation with the referee saying, hey, that should be a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct for trying to charge the goalie, even on a clear-cut icing. And he may have a case there. However, I don't think either officials want to dip their toe into that situation just yet. 2.2 seconds to go. And the horn will blow as 2 periods of hockey in the books. The Beavers will skate a 6-1 lead into the dressing room after 2 periods. As the Trojans struggle there offensively at times. And so as you watch the Trojans in their pink in the rink uniform skating off the ice, it is 2 periods in the books, a 6-1 lead, the Beavers over the Trojans. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll go downstairs to have a conversation with team captain Cameron Lombardo and more as the intermission begins from the historic Hobart Arena in downtown Troy. It's 6-1 after 2. We'll be back with our interviews. Don't go away. You're watching Troy Trojans hockey on Troy, Ohio TV. Welcome back to your intermission. JT Zabo, rejoined by the captain, Cameron Lombardo. And Cameron, this is a special final game for you here at Hobart. What does it mean?
Really, I try not to think about it just because it's the biggest game of the year. Trying to beat Beaver Creek just to set the tone for the playoffs.
Now, of course, you're decked out in pink today. A special game with the Pink Ribbon Girls. What's the impact personally to you?
I don't know about personally anything to relate to me, but I know Will Barnes' teammate, his mother had struggles with breast cancer and she beat it, so we're playing for her tonight.
Now, of course, the Pink Ribbon Girls has a special connection to Troy hockey as former Trojan captain Caleb Salazar. His mother was the founder of Pink Ribbon Girls. What is that connection with the hockey community together?
I actually didn't know that, but I think that's great. It's great that I think we've been doing this for a very long time, longer than I've been here, definitely longer than I've watched. So I think they have a very positive impact on the team, and it's just great to have this night.
Final sayings for the fans after 4 good years?
Just get pucks in deep and shots on net.
That is team captain Cam Lombardo. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Hobart Arena. JT Zabari joining you for your intermission, and I'm joined by a senior, Gavin Burris, wearing a very nice La Fiesta jacket, by the way. Also, our missing Trojan in action, Quinn Garrity. Boys, this is a special game, obviously the final home game of the season. Gavin, we'll start with you. What does it mean to play your final home game at home?
I'm excited. It's a big game against Beaver Creek. Just excited to get out there.
You got a big win last night in Toledo. Are you looking to take that same tempo here at home?
Got to. They're a really good team, and we just got to play with all we got here.
Now, of course, Quinn, you had to watch a lot of this action from the sideline this year. What has it meant to you so far to see the guys rally behind the team and really put up the season they have?
I think we came a long way from especially just last season, all the sophomores, just improving every single day. It sucks, man. The last home game, I'm going to miss him and Cam, man. I've played with him since I started. It sucks, man, but we'll get it done.
Now, of course, coming into tonight's game, Beaver Creek touting a huge winning record, and we didn't do so hot with them the first go-around. Is there a little revenge plan tonight for the Beavers?
Well, I'll say for sure. My 4 years of high school, they pretty much owned me. I'm excited to get out there and hopefully win a league title.
Of course, Quinn, you got final thoughts getting ready for next season, a big season for you as well?
We'll be back, man. That's right now.
That's Quinn Garrity and Gavin Burris. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Hobart Arena for your intermission. JT Zabari joining you, and I'm joined by a pair of freshmen. We've got AJ Scalise, and of course you've got Mr. Barnes with his awesome hair that you've sported all season long. You get a lot of compliments about that?
Yeah, I did.
Now, of course, this is the last home game of the regular season for your freshman year. Both of you guys, how has the season gone so far?
It's been good. We've been working. I got moved up with Gavin and Eli. It's been a nice change of pace with them. They work hard a lot in the corners.
Yeah, it's been an experience. I haven't got to play a whole lot, but just being around the team, practices and all that, you learn a whole lot.
Now, coming into this last game, a rivalry game against Beaver Creek, what does that mean to you guys?
They've always been cocky. We'd like to beat them. We haven't beat them in a while. It'd be nice to get a win.
Yeah, this night means a lot with the chance to win this night, and then of course it's last home game for our seniors, so it's a real big game for all of us.
Now you mentioned it is the Pink in the Rink night, and I know, Will, that has a special significance for you with your mother also battling cancer the last couple of years. How special is it to wear a pink sweater tonight for her?
It's special. I know she's happy to see it. She loves doing all the support stuff. The pink ribbon girls helped her out a bunch, so it's nice to be able to do something for them.
All right, gentlemen, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That is Will Barnes and AJ Scalise. We'll be back after this. Welcome back live inside the historic Hobart Arena. JT Zamoreed joining you for your second intermission. We heard some great things downstairs, and certainly Cameron Lombardo and Gavin Burris will be missed parts of this hockey team as they end their senior season at the conclusion of this year. This, their final home game, certainly has some special significance to it for both of them, as well as the freshmen that we spoke to as well. And while the Trojans in the dressing room trying to get a breather, trying to break through some of that mental block the Beaver Creek Beavers have built in despite that 6-1 deficit, the Trojans trying to get into something here with a bounce back. Still one period of hockey left to go here inside Hobart Arena. As we continue your first intermission, we will step aside. When we come back, we'll go downstairs for puck drop for period number 3. One more period to go on the 22-23 season at home, and we'll have it for you next, right here on Troy, Ohio TV. Welcome back inside the historic Hobart Arena as we get set to welcome the teams back out on the ice surface. A tough second period saw the Trojans down 6-1 after 2 periods of play. And a good rest between periods certainly helps the situation out as well. As the teams skate onto the ice surface for one final time in the regular season here at home. Both teams out on the ice surface. I'm JT Zabo, glad to have you along for this one. As the Trojans and the Beavers battling for the second time this season. BEAVERCREEK with the 1-0 advantage. Troy has to come back with a big third period in order to tie the season series and remain unbeaten at home. As coming into this hockey game tonight, the Trojans had a 14-7 record. They were undefeated on home ice coming into tonight's hockey game. And so both teams getting final instructions. Again, the Trojans in their specialty pink jerseys for Pink in the Rink tonight, benefiting Pink Ribbon Girls. And we mentioned a little bit of it during our interview during intermission. But Pink Ribbon Girls actually founded by Heather Salazar, a Troy hockey mom of Caleb Salazar, who was a Trojan player himself, and so there is the connection between the Pink Ribbon Girls and the Trojans. Glad to have everybody along for the ride as we are underway here for third period action from the historic Hobart Arena. Trojans trailing the Beavers 6-1. BEAVERCREEK had a big 6-1 win against Mason last night on the road. BEAVERCREEK trying to make it the weekend sweep. The Trojans also coming off a big win on the road last night against Clay High School up in Toledo. A 6-5 win as the bouncing puck comes out to center ice. Still playing it ahead. Back into the far wing corner. Still plenty of hockey to go as that one's going to be gloved down by Carver, and he will hold on to it. And wisely so, as the faceoff is going to remain inside the Trojans' end. Just a hair under a minute ticking off the clock. And in to take the draw for the Trojans is Smith. As that one shot wide of the net, back out from behind the net. Here's Conti up the wall for Lombardo. Sends it across, poked away by Carver. Rebound, top of the circle. Francis Knott couldn't carry the puck, and so they'll force it back down low into the far wing. And back up to the point. Held on, shot, low angle, loose puck behind Carver. And he was able to cover up. And a close call right there as he wasn't sure where the initial shot was. And he got a little help there from his defensive partners to let him know where the puck landed, right behind him in the crease. And so we'll do this one again, still on the stick side of Carver. There's the hard shot right from the draw off the high glass. Rebound kicked out again, shot, save, Carver will hold on. And a close one as it looked like that errant pass was knocked away and was easy pickings for the Beavers. And the blazing athlete of the week, Noah Carver, was there to make the save. right from the draw. Trojans try to force that one ahead on the half boards. Top of the circle, little help from Harris as he'll get it up to the point. Battling for it off the half boards. Swept ahead, but miscommunication again as the Trojans couldn't clear, and right back into the mitt of Noah Carver for a whistle with 13:09 to go here in this third period. The Trojans, if they're going to do something, now would be a good time to start some sort of offensive movement. As that draw scooped up by Wenning on the far side, sends a stretch pass ahead deep inside Beaver Creek territory, but they're off sides by a mile. And racing for it was Harris. Didn't even know he was off sides, I don't know. He kind of gives the linesman a look like, what? Had no idea what that was. And so, again, another miscommunication on the part of the Trojans as Harris had no idea, and intentional offsides is going to be the ruling, and that is the right call here. As Harris was actively engaged in trying to play the puck despite being a mile offside after he blew a tire into the crease. And so that brings the faceoff back inside the Trojan zone. And back out to neutral ice they go. Here's Gavin Burris. Sidesteps, rebound, loose puck swatted away in front of the crease. As we'll work that one back out for the Beavers. At the Trojans line, big hit, knocks him off the puck. Play continues into the corner and off the short boards before it's picked back up. Rink wide pass now for Harris. He's going to stagger out to center ice. Offside signaled against the Beavers, and they'll get a wholesale change. As Berghardt sends it rink wide, no icing, but that was way off target. And so they get lucky there. As racing for it down low was Francis Knott, but he couldn't get much on it. Up at the point, Sexton plays it one-timer. Again, intercepted by the Beavers under pressure. There's Smith. Trying to get a piece of it down low was Lombardo and Francis Knott as he rides his man off the puck. Right back to Smith. Top of the circle, pulls the trigger, and shot just wide. He wishes he could get that one back as it hit off the high glass and back into the near corner. Up the boards. Held on by Berghardt and around the boards, now to the far side. Condi racing back to get it, out of the point. Intercepted now by the Beavers, and out it comes inside Trojan territory as icing signaled in. The call against the Beavers now with 11:15 to go. As the faceoff will come all the way back inside Beaver Creek territory. Had some signs of life there, including that errant shot from Smith, but the Trojans still trailing in shots on goal 23-18 and trailing on the big board where it counts here 6-1. And for head coach Rick Zabo, time is not on his side as the bouncing puck knocked away, and that one's going to be held on to. And rightfully so, to stop the clock now with 11:08 to go here in the third period. And so the face-off stays inside the Beaver zone. And they're going to eject Smith from the draw. Lombardo wins it back to Condi. Gives it right back for Smith. Top of the corner! Just wide, off the end boards. Rebound, back to Campbell on the far side, battling for it, and finally gets free as Francis Knott's there to help out. And the Beavers send this one all the way down as icing signaled. And again, icing the call. And that'll bring the faceoff all the way back again inside the Beaver zone, as now the Trojans electing to make a line change. Head coach Rick Zabo looking up at the clock, seeing exactly how much time his team has to make something happen. As there's a shot, loose puck, gobbled up, but it's still loose, but the whistle blows anyway. And a close call there, as the officials saw that it was covered, or at least thought it was covered, and that may or may not have been the accurate case in that instance, but nonetheless, it's right back in between the circles. Trojans can't control inside the zone, and they'll work it out. Now for the Beavers inside the Trojan zone. They'll set up on this attempt, but the loose puck makes it back to the red stripe before the Beavers are able to fire that one just inside the Trojans' line. Stretch pass intercepted by BEAVERCREEK. Walking in between the circles, a shot, bouncing rebound into the near corner. As Schumann back to help out. Loose puck poked away by Carver. Will still control into the corner, knocked off the puck again. As Gavin Burris scoops up the loose puck, and now on this breakout attempt, 3 wide at the Beaver line. Or was it, as offsides is the call? As another miscommunication there for the Trojans. A costly mistake, causing an offsides on a 3-on-2 with 9:54 to go. And the faceoff will be right in front of the Beavers bench. And this one contained inside BEAVERCREEK territory. Good breakout. Knocked away by Smith, and they'll work it again out to neutral ice. Here it comes across the Trojan line. Fans on the initial shot as the rebound back into the far wing corner. Picked up by Sexton. He'll work it up on the half boards. A little help from Francis Knott, but it goes back down low out of the trapezoid as they'll continue to chase it. Cotty up the wall, but not out. Glove down by Lombardo, and now here comes Smith the other way. A drive as that one was just way wide off the end boards. Picked up by Lombardo. Fans on the clearing shot as the Trojans again struggling with communication down low. Offsides is waved off. That could have gone either way. And so it's back inside the Trojan zone. Controlling out through neutral ice. Scooped up by Lombardo, a long bomb. Sails wide. Goaltender tried to make the play as the loose puck again picked up by the Beavers. Conti out at center. 8 minutes and 33 seconds to go.
Between Gate and the Raffles, they ranked 1556. So if you want to tell me.
And that one's going to hop into the bench, and just got word from Brian Sexton downstairs that the proceeded donation to the Pink Ribbon Girls has now exceeded $1,500, as the current tally is $1,556 the Trojans will be donating to the Pink Ribbon Girls as part of this year's Pink in the Rink event. And that could grow as more people continue to bid on the raffle items down on the main concourse. A wonderful showing of fans here, all supporting the Pink Ribbon Girls. And despite the end score on the ice, I think tonight has been a huge win, as there's a tap-in attempt by Burris. And they'll force that one ahead to the razzing of the BEAVERCREEK bench. A big open ice hit knocked away as play continues. Troy bench wanted a call for interference, but they weren't going to get it. And there's your retaliatory hit as the loose puck out in front, just wide. And finally, a whistle from way behind the play as the tit-for-tat stuff going on. No call for that open ice interference hit on the Trojans, so as you do in hockey, you got to police the game a little bit, and you saw that late hit on the side of the cage as the officials discuss this here. And now the Trojans bench not happy down low for the calls being made as the faceoff's going to come back inside the Troy zone. It doesn't look like any penalties are, well, maybe a penalty will be called as it's, well, Wenning was going to the bench. I'm not sure if a penalty was called or not. looks like it's Harris in the box. And now we've got timeout on the ice. As you can hear, head coach Rick Zabo not happy at all with the call on the ice, and now timeout on the ice with 7:32 to go. A 6-1 hockey game, and you can see the concern that the Beavers, despite having the 5-goal lead, still continuing to run the Trojans. And more of a safety situation than anything. As in the box, it looks like the two captains going to have a conversation with the referee. As both Cameron Lombardo and Cooper Sexton, the alternate captain of this hockey team, conversing with referee Gary Dickstein. I'm not exactly sure what will come of it. Nonetheless, we still are in a timeout. They have 2 minutes up on the board for Harris, and Harris wasn't even involved in the play, so I'm not sure if they're trying to sort out who the players were involved, but that certainly is not the right call from what we saw if they are making a call on the side of the cage. And unfortunately, they don't have the luxury of instant replay at this point. And so I think that's the best we're going to have to go with. And so a power play for the Beavers with the face-off inside the Trojan zone. And so Harris's minor for kneeing stands. If we did have replay for the officials, that would obviously change. However, that is the Ohio High School rule, is this shot from Lombardo right on. And I think what head coach Rick Zabo was afraid might happen may indeed come true, is the physicality certainly looking like it's about to get out of control. And that's part of why he called timeout, was to calm down some of those teenage hormones. We'll see if it works. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go. The save made. And again, some frustrated hockey players there being taunted by the Beavers. And I don't believe we're going to get a penalty for the taunting. And you can see the reaction that Brady Smith had, as we could hear the taunting from up here by the Beavers players out on the ice after the goal. And you saw the hit in retaliation. And that was part of the argument head coach Rick Zabo had, was that this game could easily get out of hand. And we may be on the precipice of that. Hopefully it does not get to that point. However, the Trojans now staring down a 7-1 deficit. And a big open ice hit right there to the chagrin of the crowd here. As they'll work it back down low into the corner. Held on at the point. Beavers set this one up at a minute 37 on the power play. As this Trojans penalty kill brought to you in part by Skyline of Troy, as well as Tim Hortons, your locally owned Tim Hortons of Troy. Both locations, proud sponsor of this Trojan penalty kill. And for their assistance in sponsoring the Trojan specialty pink in the rink jerseys tonight. We'd like to thank Allison and her entire crew at both Tim Hortons locations here in Troy. As the big hit knocked the puck loose. That one's going to be picked up by Burris and iced 185 feet the other way. You got to hold on to your hats here and hope we don't have a Donnybrook to end the season at home. as the Beavers cross the line. Knocked off the puck with a hit in open ice. And finally cleared again out to neutral territory as the Beavers will play catch at their own blue line before sending it rink wide. That one was offsides, but play continues. Curls off out from behind, holds on at the slot. There's a shot, low on the ice, the rebound to the near side. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And the Trojans relief valve able to ice this one down. Trojans getting a fresh set of legs on the ice as the Beavers across the Trojans line onside and pump that one in, and a delayed penalty coming. And this one's going to go to Troy. And the boos ringing down here inside this building. It's Colin Berghardt, 2 minutes for roughing. And referee Gary Dickstein was right there in front of it and had the right angle to see it. And now timeout on the ice for the Beavers. I don't know what on earth they would like to take a timeout for, unless they see the same thing head coach Rick Zabo did. And so now we'd like to thank some of the sponsors for Pink in the Rink night. I'd like to thank Magnolia May Boutique in Troy. I'd like to thank McDonald's, Frickers, Grandpa Joe's Candy Shop, Skyline Chili of Troy, First Title, Eclay Facial Studio, ConAgra Foods, home of the Slim Jim, made in Troy, Ohio, Salsa City Fitness, Kona Ice of Troy, Oh Boba on the square in downtown Troy, the Dayton Dragons, and Crocs Distributors. Thank you for being a part of this year's Pink in the Rink, benefiting the Pink Ribbon Girls, and you can learn more about their life-saving mission at pinkribbongirls.org. Another penalty for the Trojans. It's a 2-minute minor for roughing going to Colin Berghardt, and the Beavers will have their first 2-man advantage of the evening. And so the officials still conversing. Still trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not getting a whole lot of confirmation, as we're not quite sure what's going on. There's 5:04 on the scoreboard. You can see the players are just conversing amongst themselves, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. There's 25 seconds left on Smith's penalty. 2 minutes is up on the board for that penalty to Colin Berghardt. And the face-off is going to remain inside the Trojan zone. And finally, we are underway once again, as the Beavers with the puck back on the far side. There's a shot. He popped the bottle and scores. A power play goal in their 8th of the night. And a power play goal does it. And that will get the Trojans pretty upset here. 5:54 to go. Now an 8-1 hockey game as they wait to clear it. Still 150 remaining on the penalty to Colin Burghardt as the Tim Hortons penalty kill continues for the Trojans for another minute 43. So they'll play that one around back on the far side. Held on at the point, under pressure, and finally cleared the length of the ice. Giving chase are two Trojans. Short-handed, here's Smith. Again ahead and picked up by Francis Knott. Out through center ice, he'll drop it back for Sexton inside his own zone. And on this breakout attempt, 1:03 to go. And again, one touch pass out to neutral ice. They'll go side to side before they'll send it back out to center. Across the Trojans line, and a big open ice check knocks his man off the puck. As the Trojans certainly not taking any chances, not hitting any of their chances, and that a penalty. After all that we've seen, that was a clean hit by all accounts from up here. And apparently down at ice level, there's a disagreement of that. And it looks like the Trojans are going to get a penalty for contact to the head. And so the two-man advantage back in favor of the Beavers. 3 minutes and 35 seconds to go as BEAVERCREEK sets up far point. Shot low on the ice and around. Forcing it back down low. Poked away by Carver. Loose puck on the side of the cage. He'll send it back. Impossible angle shot off the twine and right back out in front. Poked away by Sexton. And now the Trojans, short-handed by two. Work that one up to open ice. Passing it across to Condi. There's a shot right on. It's going to be held on as Burghardt steps onto the ice. Now a 5-on-4 advantage for the Beavers. They'll throw on the brakes and pump that one just inside the Trojan zone. 1:10 to go on that penalty to Smith for contact to the head. As the play continues across the Trojans line. Forcing it back on the far side. Down low, hit off the puck, loose, wide, angle shot, save made Carver, rebound out in front, and he had it the whole way. And he wasn't letting that one go with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. And it looks like we're going to do this one again, the same spot. Picked up by Lombardo. On the outlet, he's able to dump it inside BEAVERCREEK territory. Tangled up a little bit in the bench, but no call. As play continues, back out to center. Burghardt, from his own line, tosses this one in, hit by a stick, so no icing signaled. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in regulation. BEAVERCREEK holding on to a firm 8-1 lead. As a delayed penalty coming. As Gavin Burris was facing an attacker. Got his stick up a little high into the helmet. And it would have been a charging penalty against the Beavers had Gavin not got the stick up as the forward was coming after Burris with a head of steam. And so Gavin, almost like a reflex, protecting himself. Nonetheless, he gets the gate, a 2-minute minor for cross-checking. And so back to a 5-on-3 man advantage. And that one works it up to open air. Lombardo under pressure as here come the Beavers, blowing a tire in front of the Trojans bench. And the crowd certainly enjoyed that sight as the Beavers will work that one back inside their own zone. Fresh from the penalty box is Smith. He'll turn and fire. As those two tangle up way behind the play, it was number 22 that came after Smith. And now this place is going absolutely nuts as the linesmen come in to separate Brady Smith, who wants to drop the mitts. And this is exactly what we were afraid would happen. Still 1:28 to go. And head coach Rick Szabo was calling this at the 6-minute mark, trying to calm this game down, getting the officials to do something. And unfortunately, that has not happened. And we see the result of it here as we're trying to prevent an all-out Donnybrook out on the ice. 1:28 to go here in the third period. Tempers flaring inside the historic Hobart Arena. No stranger to aggressive hockey action since 1950. The site of some legendary on-ice fights inside this building. And we're trying to prevent that from happening tonight during this interscholastic contest. And now head coach Rick Szabo having an argument with the officials, wanting an explanation for that last call. And so we're in for an interesting finish here, if nothing else, as we're back underway. The Beavers work it back into the far point. And ahead, there's the shot. Turned aside by Carver. 70 seconds left to go. As racing for it the other way was Berghart under pressure. Now to a 5-on-4 man advantage for the Beavers. Under 60 seconds to go and counting in regulation. As it goes back to Berghart walking in from the point. Shot blocked down low in front. As they'll work that one back to Berghart. Still trying to hold on to it before it's knocked all the way down. That'll be played out from behind the net. 30 seconds and counting. Hacking at the puck, they'll work it down low into the corner. Takes that puck free. Stands a couple slashes and moves on. Back into the far corner. 14 seconds and counting. Up at the point. Here's a shot low on the ice. Loose puck knocked away. And now the Beavers trying to start some fisticuffs with the goalie now. As luckily enough, pink jerseys were in the way to make him think twice. As with 6.9 seconds to go, we're just wanting this puck down and the clock to move. As right off the draw, this one played and the Trojans will ice it as time will expire. And the final horn as the Beavers again wanting to get involved there with the Trojans.
Good luck to the Trojans.
And so as they go through the handshake, I'm not exactly sure that's the best idea for them to do. We'll keep an eye on this, but the Trojans' home season will come to a fiery conclusion here on a Sunday evening along the banks of the Great Miami River. Our final score from Hobart Arena, 8-1. The Beavers win the season sweep against the Trojans with 2 games, 1 at home and 1 on the road won. And the Trojans split their weekend with 1 win on the road last night and their first home loss of the year here tonight. As the Beavers will gradually step off the ice surface. The Trojans will have a special presentation down at ice level for the Pink Ribbon Girls momentarily, as they will present a check to the PRG organization. And don't forget, we'd like to remind you that all of our games and telecasts all season long are available on TroyOhioTV.com, as well as our Facebook and YouTube channels. Be sure to subscribe and like to those, as we have some more content coming up this spring. And we'll be back in action next winter for the winter sports season right here on Troy, Ohio TV. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for being a big part of Trojan hockey all season long here on Troy, Ohio TV, and we'd like to give a very special thank you to you, our viewers all season long, whether you are watching on Facebook, watching on YouTube, watching on demand on TroyOhio.tv. We thank you for being a part of this historic season of Troy Trojans hockey. As we see the team with their special presentation down at ice level for the Pink Ribbon Girls, over $1,500 being donated to such an amazing cause. And so we certainly couldn't do it without the support of the fans all season long. We'll leave you with that. A final score tonight, BEAVERCREEK 8, Troy 1. They now move on to the remainder of the regular season on the road before the Ohio High School Athletic Association districts start in Columbus the first week of February. For our entire crew upstairs here at Hobart Arena, for Jordan Helmer, as well as for Riley, Lily, John Wyatt, Rhino, Brielle, and everybody else involved in our telecast, I'm JT Zabo for one final time this season. Good night, everybody.